Hi there, happy Sunday. Usually I come here on a Friday, but Friday it was pouring down rain, and so we are here today on a Sunday instead. And I'm just walking up to the garden now, and it looks like my tomatoes are happy. I'll show you. Wow, the onions are nuts too. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, we've got the peas. They look good. Some more peas. These crazy potato plants. Oh my. These are nuts. Gonna have to harvest a lot of this spinach today.
You're supposed to just put on like a thin layer.
Of grass?
Yeah, because you want it to dry out. Like people usually set it somewhere to dry it out, but I think if you put it on thin.
Okay. That sounds like my project for today. So anyways, we're gonna need to harvest a lot of this spinach. The kale is, wow, it's a lot bigger than it was last week. Looks like we got a big weed back there we need to pull as well, but the kale's looking good. Wow, look at this lettuce. Oh, that looks fresh. I might have to pick some of that today too. That looks really yummy. Looks like we don't have anything really sprouting in the lettuce that we planted last week. But that's okay. Our onions are going crazy. The bean plants look really good, really healthy. And my cantaloupe. The cantaloupe looks really good. Wow. There's plenty of it. I'm glad I reseeded because I feel like we wouldn't have had as much if I didn't do that. And then we have our tomatoes. The tomatoes. They're starting to flower already, which is nice. They're all looking real good. Gotta start tying this up some more closer to that trellis. Wow. All right, and then our peppers. Ooh, our peppers are, oh, get out of the sun. Our peppers have some buds on it, I guess you call it. So that is the gypsy pepper. This is an Anaheim, gypsy, and then Anaheim. So we've got our 4 pepper plants, and then we planted carrots seeds here last week. Nothing has come up yet, but from what I know about carrots, that sounds about right. So I'm just gonna give you some close-ups of the different plants. I feel like I've been neglecting to do that, so let me do that. A friend brought us buckets of grass that we could put out over the garden so that we have to do a little less weeding all the time. So I think step 1 today is to do a lot of weeding. I think my mom left a hoe over there, so go ahead and use that, get a lot of the weeds out. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the grass down. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna do weeds, harvest, and then grass. And I don't really think we need to water because it is supposed to keep raining a little bit this week. So it's very buggy out here, I think because of the rain and because of the time we're in. It's almost June. It's May 31st today, so June starts tomorrow. But yeah, we'll get the overview. It just looks so good. I'm thrilled. We have help. We have help. He's gonna use the hoe and get some of the weeds out while I pull some by hand, and then we'll work on the grass. Let me get back in here. I don't know if okay, the thing I'm about to pull, I don't know if it's nightshade or if it's a sunflower, and that could sound really silly. Actually, you know what? Oh, is that carrot or is that just grass? I think that's just grass. Anyways, this here, I don't know if this is nightshade or a sunflower. I think like the stalk is so thick on this could be a sunflower, which does make sense. There are sunflowers around here, but either way, it's coming out. Oh boy, that pulled some of my kale. Give me a second. All right, try to put that plant back in there. We'll see if that survives my brutality. Gosh, it's buggy. Oh my God, the bugs are crazy. That is just enough to drive me nuts. Ooh. I don't know if I can be down in here for very long. That is really gross. So I know that I want to harvest some of this spinach, but as soon as I do that, I need to take it straight into the house and get it into the fridge so that it doesn't just get, what's that called? Wilty? I'm gonna get overstimulated by these dang bugs all over me. Ugh. Oh, these got to go. That's so funny how long the roots are on these little. If we did my precious cantaloupe. Have I told y'all the story of why these cantaloupe are like the things that I'm most concerned about and baby the most? It's because last year I started some cantaloupe plants from seed in my apartment, and I brought them here to plant and planted them, and they started growing, and then about a week or two later we came back and they were completely gone, like disappeared, and we didn't know if something had eaten them, if something had pulled them out. Literally had no idea what happened to them. So then we planted seed, and at that point it was a bit late in the season, like it was already mid-June, maybe even into July. We planted the seeds out in the garden, and then they never came up. Or they did come up. They did. They had germinated. They got to be not even any bigger than the ones that are here, like smaller than these, honestly. And then I don't know if this round, if the same thing happened, or if they got shaded out by the massive surplus of squash vines that were everywhere. But yeah, we didn't get any cantaloupe, and it was very sad because that was the only thing that Tate wanted out of the garden. He doesn't like tomatoes or really vegetables in general. So he's excited about the cantaloupe, and we just did not get any. So I'm hopeful that with all of these here this year, we get some. All right. So I got my basket and my trimmers, and I'm gonna harvest some of the spinach, and then I'm gonna immediately take it inside so it doesn't get wilty. Some of it, if it's been chewed on, I'm just gonna toss it behind me because we don't want chewed on spinach. Ideally, we would be harvesting this early in the morning, but we just can't get out here super early, so it's an hour and a half drive for us. And today my mom had church, so we met her here after church. Mind your way. We've got a pretty great amount of spinach here. This is, I'll show you up close. A whole lot of spinach. I'm gonna get this bagged up and go and put it in the fridge. Should really get some lettuce on out here right now before I run these inside, but I really don't want them to get wilty. We'll be quick about it. And some kale, my. I'm gonna have some good salads this week. Holy cow. This is beautiful. That's shading out this little lettuce clump. I'm just gonna harvest that whole one. Beautiful. All right. This might be a little too much to put in a bag, so I'm just gonna take that in. And we'll get a small bag of the lettuce. This is real dirty. It's gonna need to be washed quite well. Got a salad spinner, so that should be no problem. See all this lettuce then? All that? It's a lot. Oop, picked a plant. Whoopsie. It's okay. That's a good haul. You see all that kale, lettuce, and spinach? I'm gonna take it into the house, make sure it doesn't get wilty, and then we'll come back out here and we'll put out some of that grass. Look at that haul. And that kale is big and beautiful. This will be awesome. It'll be good salads this week. Good, because I didn't buy any lettuce for myself. There's weeds in here, but it's hard to tell the difference between the weeds and the potato plants. It's looking good. I think we can go a little thicker. You want it to be like coverage, but not like inches. Yeah. But I like your technique that you're doing. We just laid out grass all over everything to hopefully prevent the need to weed all of the time. I wanted to show y'all a close-up of these peas as they're forming because I think it's really interesting. Do you see that in there? The pods forming? I also think it's interesting, I don't know if you can see on that back wire, it's like wrapping itself around the cage and tangling itself into it, which is interesting. I never noticed that about pea plants before. But then again, I haven't really been up close and personal with pea plants that often, so it's just interesting how they form. Sounds like somebody's reapplying bug spray. Probably a good idea. Okay, I think we're done over here. We'll see if I get to showing anything else today because it's just hot. We got strawberries to pick. At least a few anyways. There's a lot growing. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have a lot in these coming weeks. All right. All right, it is a while later and we are back home now. It's 7 p.m. We just got home and I want to show you a little bit of the haul of what we brought home today. Okay, so in this bag we have kale and it is just massive and beautiful. I cannot wait to eat this. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, I'm so thrilled about the size of these kale leaves, and I just harvested a little bit of it. There was a lot out there. Let me also grab the spinach. So this is one bag of the spinach, but there is another container in the fridge. But this is plentiful. It's all quite dirty, so I'm gonna need to give it a good wash. But the spinach, the kale, the lettuce, again, just like very beautiful lettuce. And this is delicious. So I had a little bit of this lettuce and spinach tonight. Before we left my parents' house, we had burgers. So I had a little salad on the side. Then I was able to harvest one asparagus. The rest of it had gone to seed already, but there was one little asparagus left out there. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Then I got some garlic. I've never harvested any of my grandma's garlic before, but she's always had it. I'm interested to try it. My uncle always says that it's like a spicy garlic, which I don't really know what that means, but I'm interested to try it. And then this, I believe, is a walking onion. It had this as a top on it. And it smells like onion. So I grabbed it walking by thinking it might be some kind of onion, and I'm going to use it probably as like green onion. And then finally, we have a small handful of strawberries. My grandma has had strawberries forever in one of her garden beds, and so I was able to go through and pick a small handful of them. I think there's going to be a lot more next week. They must be June bearing, and June is right around the corner. So I'm excited to have more of those coming up here too. And then of course the cinnamon rolls, but we get these cinnamon rolls from the grocery store in my small town, and somebody makes them and brings them there, and they are absolutely phenomenal. So we had some last week, and then we ended up getting 2 boxes this week. So there's 6 of them in here, and they are going to fly out of here between Tate and I. They are so good. So that's the haul for this week. I'm excited to have greens. I did not buy any lettuce or anything this week from the store because I wasn't sure if we'd have some. And we have plenty. So I'm glad I didn't buy any, and I'm really looking forward to having lots of healthy salads this week and trying to figure out what to do with this green onion. So also, along with my one asparagus, my dad had some asparagus from a local store that he had picked up, and he let us take some of that home too. So we won't just be having one asparagus. We'll have a little bit with one of our dinners this week. So I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna have to think about what we're gonna be making as we continue to be in this season of harvesting a bunch of greens. Yeah, I look forward to the tomato season. Now, when I'm in the midst of the tomato season, I'm always like, oh my gosh, why do we have so many dang tomatoes? But I'm looking forward to that now because we don't have any right now, and I haven't had tomatoes in a while. I haven't bought them because I'm just anticipating that we're gonna have a ton, and it's really exciting. So that's the haul. Thank you for joining me this week. I hope that you enjoyed the update on the garden. It is looking amazing, and I'm really thankful to have the grass clippings that a neighbor brought over so that hopefully going forward we don't have to weed as much as we have been. And I'm just interested to know what kind of tactics that you all use to keep weeds out of your garden. On the drive home, my boyfriend and I were talking about how it would be really nice to have raised beds so that we aren't, one, having to get on our hands and knees and pull weeds that way, and two, spend a significant amount of time every single week weeding. So I'm just interested what tactics that you all use to keep weeds out of your garden and keep that weed pulling time down a little bit. So share that in the comments below if you have any tips for us. Projects going forward, I think it's going to be really important that we get something to trellis the cantaloupe on very soon, because they're probably going to start growing a bit more as it gets into this hot weather, and I'm looking forward to that. But I'm also a little concerned that if we don't have anything for them to trellis on, they're just going to go crazy and be hard to upkeep. It looked like there was already peppers and peas starting to form, so I'm not exactly sure. I didn't do the calculations on how long things were going to take until the first harvest, so I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but I just get so excited every week when I approach the garden to see what's new and it brings me a lot of joy. So thank you so much for watching and sticking around. If you enjoyed this video and you want to stick around for more updates, please hit the like and subscribe and continue on this journey with me as we see what grows, what doesn't. I'm hoping to have a bit of a monthly recap video coming out soon, so we'll see if I can get that pulled together, but I just kind of want to go over everything that we've planted in May, kind of what we've done well, what we've had to replant. If you're interested in that, please leave a comment below on any topics that you want me to touch on. Something else that I wanted to share with you guys is for this month of May, so it is May 31st today. I started at the beginning of May with, I think, around 30 subscribers, and my goal was to hit 45 subscribers by the end of May. And now that we are at the last day of May, my subscriber count is at 71. So thank you all so much for subscribing and joining me on this gardening endeavor this year. It really means a lot to me. I just thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope you're really enjoying going through this gardening season with me. So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for next week as we do another update on the garden and hopefully another harvest. Take care. Have a good week.